What it do, YouTube? I am your boy Tony Vogue, the E-Boy, Zombie Slayer. You're here on my B channel. You know I like zombie games and shooters. I'm also into military history, warfare, weaponry, politics, and a lot of other shit. Well, we've been playing a lot of video games with killer robots, modern technologies. I don't know why I'm talking like this, but today I have a very special reaction for you guys. I've wanted to react to more information about this exact topic for a while, but it's hard to track down. I wonder if this is accurate information or just hypothesis. The TR3B, apparently toroidal anti-gravity drive on the Black Manta spy plane. Let's go.
This is the video that you've been waiting for. The one aircraft everyone has witnessed, from Air Force to stargazers to historians and aviation buffs. Triangle in shape, this spy plane design seems like something out of a science fiction novel. It can perform incredibly high G turns, undetectable on radar, and was developed from top secret Nazi research captured from World War II. And believe it or not, it would use an engine system that can only be described as anti-gravity magic. Prepare yourself for an impossible video on an impossible aircraft, the anti-gravity TR3B Black Manta.
I think this is going to be hypothesis, YouTube.
This video could be dubbed Deja Vu Time because it's a case of here we go again. In fact, this video could even have its own theme song, namely Here We Go by Swedish group Stackaboo, a fun ska rap tune of the 1990s. By the way, the lead singer of that song went on to be the director of the award-winning 2019 HBO miniseries Chernobyl. Hey, don't say I only talk about aviation on this channel, okay? Yep, I've dived and dug deep and put together another instance of a mystery plane that the US military refuses to acknowledge, and which, for all intents and purposes, simply doesn't exist. You know, one of those planes. The fact that this one is also black and triangle-shaped puts it in the same league as another controversial plane that the US military says doesn't exist, the Aurora. That one has its own video here on Found and Explained, so check that out if you like. So let's turn our attention to the TR3B Black Manta, a triangle-shaped anti-gravity plane around which there has been much speculation. Like the Aurora, it deserves some attention. So the question that is on your lips, what is meant by anti-gravity? In the case of the TR3B Black Manta, it means a craft that uses highly pressurized mercury accelerated by nuclear energy, so the plasma is produced, which in turn creates a field of anti-gravity around the craft. It has an electromagnetic coil at the heart of its motive power system, the result of which is electromagnetic drive that interacts with the
Again, are we just speaking about hypotheses as if they're scientific fact at this point? Like,
Higgs-Boson field at the quantum level.
Higgs-Boson field?
That interacts with the Higgs-Boson field at the quantum level.
Yeah, this man don't know what he's talking about. He just called a Higgs boson a Higgs bison.
And definitely something that is probably not common knowledge, or even really provable at this point. So an anti-gravity aircraft doesn't use conventional turbine or rocket engine technology, but instead a propulsion system that creates thrust by generating high-energy plasma. These aircraft are also referred to as flux liners. As with many divergent aviation technologies, anti-gravity technology dates back to the latter part and aftermath of World War II, and specifically the covert US project known as Operation Paperclip. The objective of Operation Paperclip...
Is this like a new part of Disclosure where they just pretend we've been talking about this shit all the time?
...was for the US to gain as much leverage against the Soviet Union in the military armaments technology race, which is why the project was packed to the rafters with German scientists who were avowed members of the Nazi Party. That means the US has been investigating anti-gravity technology for nearly 70 years. There have also been a slew of confirmed peer-reviewed research studies regarding anti-gravity technology spanning some 60 years, conducted and published by respected agencies such as NASA, the American Institute of Physics, and the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics, as well as the Air Force Research Laboratory. It is the culmination of theories regarding gravitation, quantum gravity, and general relativity, the latter as first put forward by Albert Einstein himself. Anti-gravity is of such huge interest to the military and scientists alike, given that, for example, one could hypothetically reduce an aircraft's mass by using electromagnetic propulsion even down to zero. Little wonder that the likes of NASA, the US Air Force, and Lockheed Martin researchers—
I mean, Lockheed Martin is the most qualified organization out of the above—
have all invested in theoretical studies regarding the ability
not
to
just for
alter
theoretical
inert
studies.
mass. According to experts, the TR3B Black Manta would use conventional thrusters located on the tips of the aircraft that would allow it to perform a dizzily number of rapid high-speed maneuvers, including perfect right-angle turns and hyper-acceleration. It could even achieve this along all three axes as well. Remember, the TR3B was designed to be a subsonic stealth spy plane. For one thing, it's a very silent aircraft, save for a slight humming noise. An interesting byproduct of the plasma the TR3B generates is that it significantly reduces the aircraft's radar signature, thereby making it ideal for missions in which stealth is paramount. This means that the TR3B Black Manta could sneak into just about any airspace of any country and not be detected by its air traffic control or defense systems.
Like Russia, or North Korea, or China.
This little black number has been associated with a number of reports of sightings of flying triangle aircraft over the Antelope Valley, an area of desert in Southern California, much beloved by UFO watchers. It's also this desert area of California that draws people interested in covert black projects or black op military projects, given its close proximity to several known military research and testing areas, including Edwards Air Force Base and US Air Force Plant 42, the latter of which is a mere 60 miles or 97 kilometers from downtown Los Angeles.
Well, damn.
In my humble opinion, the United States Air Force must thank its lucky stars for UFO enthusiasts and believers of alien spacecraft. After all, as Popular Mechanics has written, a number of reports of so-called Black Triangle UFOs have probably been secret military aircraft in reality. The TR3B Black Manta could certainly be the type of Black Ops project typical of the US Air Force and Navy. The U-2 spy plane of the 1950s, the SR-71 jet of the 1980s, and the present-day F-117A stealth craft are just three examples of planes that the US Air Force denied existed for years, all of which were first covertly developed in Nevada's infamous Area 51 base. And let's not forget that Area 51 itself was only finally acknowledged by the US government when its most covert agency, the CIA, did so on June 2013, courtesy of the Freedom of Information Act, requests filed 8 years earlier. So what about this proof? Allegations have swirled around the—
Damn, they denied the existence of Area 51 till 2013.
TR3B Black Manta for years. The Bat, as the TR3B is sometimes affectionately known by Black Ops aviation researchers, is hardly new in the covert sighting stakes. Steve Douglas claims that he first captured the ultra-secret aircraft on video in 1994. Douglas had been used to tracking the likes of the once-secret F-117 stealth fighters, but this new aircraft was shaped differently and had a different sound crackling over his military-grade radio scanner. Douglas had witnessed this strange aircraft at the White Sands Missile Range in southern New Mexico, which is where the first atomic bomb was tested in July 1945, which makes it the perfect place to experiment with nuclear technologies. Speaking of 1994, there's also the strange event.
This boy don't know shit all about science. Were you talking about electromagnetic anti-gravity? And he's talking about nuclear phenomenon. Boy, go back to high school physics. I'm gonna eat these cookies.
At Boscombe Down Airfield in Wiltshire, England, that happened on September 26th of that year. First reported in the UK's Air Force's monthly magazine, it was alleged that a unidentified, small, twin-tail stealth fighter crashed at the airfield at 11 PM that day. Allegations persist to this day that it is possibly the TR3B Black Manta had crashed there on that night in Wiltshire, a mere 6 miles or 9.5 kilometres from Stonehenge itself. Not surprisingly, the covert event was ferociously denied by the US and UK governments alike. It's also been alleged that the aircraft was used in the Gulf War to provide laser designation for Lockheed F-117 Nighthawk bombers, which would enable the use of laser-guided bombs. The US Air Force, of course, flat out refutes this claim, and a counter-argument is that the Black Triangle planes such as the TR-3A have merely been confused with other, less dramatic aircraft. For example, a geoscientist, Ben McGee, identified some Black Triangle craft as being border patrol drones fitted with infrared anti-collision or identification lights. However, the Las Vegas-based National Institute of Discovery Science, or NIDS, has catalogued a number of Black Triangle plane sightings over a number of years, and released a report in which it states that the sightings of the so-called flying triangles had intensified in the period of 1990 to 2004. It concluded that these multiple sightings were not keeping with previous covert operations by the Department of Defense. For example, they were often deployed over densely populated areas and highways. The Institute basically didn't know what to make of these sightings. Further triangle aircraft akin to the TR3B Black Manta have been sighted since then, including one caught on camera by the Texas-based Laredo Paranormal Research Society in July 2012. As well as triangle UFO-looking aircraft filmed hovering over northeast Pennsylvania in late 2018. But what if I told you that someone had taken out a patent on this aircraft design?
Wait, what? Why would someone take out a patent?
That's right, officially in writing. We now turn to the series...
A patent on what? The shape of the plane? This took a turn, YouTube.
Of patents issued by the United States Patent Office, or USPO, to the United States Navy, collectively known as the US Anti-Gravity Patents. These were patents given to the Navy for what looked like a triangle-shaped aircraft akin to a UFO alien craft of lore. The alleged inventor of the patents is an elusive man known as Salvador Cesar Paez, an American aerospace engineer and inventor who now works for the US Air Force. His 1999 PhD thesis at Case Western Reserve University was titled Bubble Generation under Reduced Gravity Conditions for both co-flow and cross-flow configurations. So Paez clearly had a background in gravity-related research. One of the patents that he ended up lodging for the US Navy was issued on December 4th, 2018, and was titled Craft Using an Inertia Mass Reduction Device. Like so many mysterious patents, it actually makes for a delicious reading. For example, it's abstract stating that the patent is for the following: a craft using an inertia mass reduction device comprised of an inner resonant cavity wall, an outer resonant cavity, and microwave emitters. The electrically charged outer resonant cavity wall and the electrically insulated inner resonant cavity wall forms a resonant cavity. The microwave emitters create high-frequency electromagnetic waves through the resonant cavity, causing the resonant cavity to vibrate in an accelerated mode and create a
I'm
local
blown away,
polarized
YouTube.
vacuum
I
outside
am literally
of the
blown
outer
away. I
resonant
did not expect to be reacting to a video that someone who definitely does not understand physics has made. Damn.
cavity wall. The patent essentially describes an anti-gravity aircraft, and its diagrams as attached clearly show a sharp-looking, triangle-shaped craft looks uncannily like the archetypical UFO. The opening description relating to the craft's energy propulsion system is equally fascinating, as quoted verbatim here. There are 4 known fundamental forces which control matter and therefore control energy.
What do you think, YouTube? Drop me a comment below. We are gonna look up this patent. We gonna explore it. We might just make our own video reacting to that shit. Amazing.
The 4 known forces are the strong nuclear forces, weak nuclear forces, electromagnetic force, and gravitational force. In this hierarchy of forces, the electromagnetic force is perfectly positioned to be able to manipulate the other 3. A stationary electric charge gives rise to an electric field, while a moving charge generates both an electric and magnetic field, hence the electromagnetic field. The patent further reads like an astrophysicist's fever dream, mentioning things like quantum field theory, hyperfrequency gyrational and hyperfrequency vibrational electrodynamics, the Casimir effect, the Lamb shift, and spontaneous emission, to name only but a few. So you're probably wondering, does any of this even exist? There are of course the inevitable allegations that the TR3B was built by the military using extraterrestrial reverse engineered technology.
Bro, this man can't talk. Extraterrestrial?
Even Forbes magazine mused in 2021 that maybe, just maybe, the patents issued to Salvador Cesar Paez could be a cover for alien technology captured over the years by the US military. But of course, that leap of judgment I think is best reserved for a different YouTube channel that is a little bit more out there. So what of the TR3B?
Pretty sure all of this is from the research the Nazis did on Die Glocke.
Black Manta. How far back does it go, if at all? Does it have anything to do with those aforementioned 2018 patents issued to the US Navy? Is it a plane? Is it a bird? Could it even be Superman? Well, I think it's just the United States Air Force messing with our heads yet again.
And I am your boy Tony
will never change.
E-boy Zombie Slayer. And I'm totally into that. So we have anti-gravity technology that has been patented in the US and apparently used in the TR3B spy plane. Amazing. Till next time. Ha.